6. This place is rocking.
defending Stanley Cup champion, Edmonton. First, the champions of the 1984 Stanley Cup champion in the corner, number 89, Wayne Gretzky.
No way. 25 volume,
The Oilers were Anderson and Van Hamilton. Hockey fans, hosting a walk at what the Edmonton Oilers done with the 2012 Stanley Cup Final.
Paul centers, waits, he scores! Paul has tied it in Game 7! Here's another 2-on-1. Devin Dubnik. What a second game! Devin Dubnik! Game 7! And as well! Here's Hopkins right in! He scores! Ryan Smith ties Gretzky's record for most points in playoffs! Losing with the record. Ryan Smith fires the shot. He scores! That's it! Ryan Smith passed Wayne Gretzky and most playoff points in history. Edmonton Oilers are 2012 Stanley Cup champions! For the final.
Stanley Cup champions. The Edmonton Stanley Cup champions. The Edmonton Oilers. And their sixth Stanley Cup winner.
But so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Hockey fans and NHL fans, please say loud and proud as Paul leads us to Hall of Fame. To start, everybody with the Stanley Cup first round, here is Bluejackets.
Welcome back inside Red Sox Place, everyone. Bluejackets Stanley Cup playoffs first round against the Columbus Bluejackets. Up to the final meeting of the season between Edmonton and Columbus. Let's meet the starting goaltenders. They're brought to you by Tim Hortons, Our Canada, Our Coffee. Nikolai Habibulin stopped all 43 shots he faced in St. Louis on Tuesday. Tonight will be his 7th start and the first time he has started 2 in a row all season. At the other end, 24-year-old Sergei Bobrovsky shut out Vancouver on Tuesday through 65 minutes, but lost in a shootout. 8 of his 11 wins have come in the month of March. And the Columbus Bluejackets, absolutely, if they have any chance of making the playoffs, are going to need Sergei Bobrovsky. The Edmonton Oilers, meantime, were in St. Louis on Tuesday, defeated the Blues by the score of 3-0. Their first win there, and the first goal of the game comes just 10 seconds in. And Bobrovsky shut out Vancouver on Tuesday through 65 minutes, but lost in a shootout. 8 of his 11 wins have come in the month of 24-year-old Sergei Bobrovsky shut out Vancouver on Tuesday through 65 minutes, but lost in a shootout. 8 of his 11 wins have come in the month of March. And the Columbus Bluejackets, absolutely, if they have any chance of making the playoffs, are going to need Sergei Bobrovsky. The Edmonton Oilers, meantime, were in St. Louis on Tuesday, defeated the Blues by the score of 3-0. The first win there, and the first goal of the game. And the fans chanting seats. The Bluejackets are down by 1. Out there, but they're under siege now as here comes Foster. Broussard, he's got his shot by Heavy Boom. Foster. Let's and Broussard will now change up. And that will allow Ryan Johansson to step on the ice. Columbus Bluejackets, 11th in the West. They've got 33 points on the season.
52.
Start like that, Louis. Important for a team that doesn't score many goals. They are last in the league in offense.
Yeah, they had a great goaltender. So typically, if they get 1 or 2 for this guy, Sergei Bobrovsky, in the last month, he closes the door. He's been that good.
Backhand, Bobrovsky makes the save. As jumping in the play was Justin Schultz. Second line out there now for the Oilers. With Hemsky, Gagne, and Magnus Bjarvi. Justin Schultz goes up the middle for Gagne. Sam Gagne surrounded by white shirts. Wants to get that hockey and beat Bjarvi in support. Gagne with a nice hit. Gagne with a nice. He knocked down the veteran in that corner.
One didn't like that too much. A little bit of a forearm to the back of the coin by Gagne. He goes a little awkwardly into the boards. Word with the referee skating back.
The captain, Sean Horkoff, out there now with Ryan Jones and Nail Horkoff. Bobrovsky can't control it. First step there by Cutter, too. Outlet pass to Jared Bowl. Too far for him. Ryan Whitney's got it. He is paired with Corey Potter. Potter throws it up the ice. The race is on. Yakupov is going to get there first. He hoped, but he didn't. And getting there in time was James Wisniewski. Let's take a look now at the keys to the game, brought to you as always by the 2013 Ford Super Duty. It's built for tough.
Well, for the Columbus Bluejackets, of special teams, only 2 power play goals against in the last 7 games played. So the penalty killing's been good, but only 4 power play goals in their last 10 games. They need to get that going if they want to be effective and get into the playoffs. And for the Oilers, pull the trigger. You saw that early shot by Atkinson. Beat how do you do it? Evans is going to follow that up.
And this line continues to put pressure on as Atkinson let the shot go. Heavy Bullen took a glance behind him. And his shot was James Wisniewski. Let's take a look.
Wisniewski shoots, scores, and there's the first goal of the Stanley Cup first round for James Wisniewski. 1-0 Bluejackets.
Now, at the keys to the game, brought to you as always by the 2013 Ford Super Duty. It's built for
7 games played. So the penalty killing's been good, but only 4 power play goals in their last 10 games. They need to get that going if they want to be effective and get into the playoffs. And for the Oilers, pull the trigger. You saw that early shot by Atkinson. Beat Hattie.
And Artema Nisimov providing the problem. Artema Nisimov, a couple of shots. Heavy Bullen the same.
Boom. At 7-2 the victory. 4 days ago, the regular season is over.
Oilers
are back after a 2-1 deficit. Scored 6 goals.
The addition of James Wisniewski in the lineup. He had a broken foot in 14 games. Let's take a look at those starting lineups. Brought to you by Boston Pizza, your hockey headquarters destination.
Yeah, as you mentioned, for the Columbus Bluejackets, a couple insertions as Eriksson steps back in. Wisniewski, as you said, after the last 14 games missed with that foot injury, is back in the lineup. Foligno and Gilly is out for head coach Todd Richards tonight, and for Edmonton, the same mix of characters that were in the game Tuesday night in that win versus St. Louis.
Unlike your voice, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
And the other thing may be Adrian Appoint is not 100% bumps and bruises, so they got a little insurance with that 7 defenseman. R.J. Umberg is out there with Ryan Johansson and Sean Collins. Sean Collins, the youngster, called a March 23rd for the second time this season. Sean Collins did not lessen against Vancouver. Justin Schultz is going to chase it back down into his own zone. Touch the puck. Give him a nice ball.
And Kevin, obviously not to start the round.
The youngster chasing back down into his own zone. Justin Schultz is going to chase it back down into his own zone.
Scores again. And this time,
It's R.J. Umberger. Makes it 2-0 for the Blue Jackets.
And Kevin, obviously not the start that Ralph Kruger would like against the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight. One of the things he said today was that the Columbus Blue Jackets, in their opinion, is the hardest working team in the National Hockey League. When you look at the record that they've had, they understand the Edmonton Oilers going up against Todd Richards and his crew, that they're going to have to outwork the opponent, which won't be an easy task. And now down 1-0, it just gets that much harder.
This team in the Columbus
task, and now down 1-0, it just gets that much harder.
This team in the Columbus Blue Jackets
now down 1-0, it gets that much harder. Opponent, which won't be an easy task, and now down 1-0, it just gets that much harder.
This team in the Columbus Blue Jackets 8-1-4 in the month of March. Their only regulation loss was in Nashville, but that doesn't really matter because they always lose in Nashville. That's just one of those teams that they have not been able to beat.
Anomalies like Edmonton and Minnesota, for whatever reason, different teams and styles and certain buildings just have that way of making it a difficult night. But the Columbus Blue Jackets, typically a team that Edmonton has great success against. But this year they've battled through, and you look back to that first matchup on February 10th. It was Devin Dubnyk with 39 saves in that game. To pull out that first matchup on February 10th, it was Devin Dubnyk with 39. They battled through, and you look back to that first matchup on February 10th. It was Devin Dubnyk. This year they battled through, and you look back to that first matchup on February 10th, it was success against. But this year they battled through, and to pull out the win, first matchup on February 10th, it was Devin Dubnyk with 39 saves in that game. To pull out the win 3-1, he was definitely the first star in that game. The second game went to the shootout, but they won, so they've competed very aggressively and hard against Edmonton. We've seen it early on already in this one here.
Pittsburgh. And just looking for his first playoff goal. And there it is. Pittsburgh. First playoff goal. Makes it a touch to the Blue Jackets lead to 2-1. They don't score many goals.
For whatever reason, different teams and styles and certain buildings just have that way of making it a difficult night. But the Columbus Blue Jackets, typically a team that Edmonton has great success against. But this year they battled through, and you look back to that first matchup on February 10th, it was Devin Dubnyk with 39 saves in that game. To pull out the win 3-1, he was definitely the first star in that game. The second game went to the shootout, but they won, so they've competed very aggressively and hard against Edmonton. We've seen it early on already in this one here.
They don't score many goals. They don't score.
You look back, it's typically a team that Edmonton has great success against. But this year they battled through, and you look back to that first matchup on February 10th, it was Devin Dubnyk with 39 saves in that game. To pull out the win 3 matchup on February 10th, it was Devin Dubnyk with 39 saves in that game. To pull out the win 3-1, he was definitely the first star in that game. The second game went to the shootout, but they won, so they've competed very aggressively and hard against Edmonton. We've seen it early on already in this one here.
They don't score many goals. They don't score many goals from the road. This is their 23rd goal on the road in 15 games. Nick Schultz, get it by Vinny Foster. Broussard in there as well. One-point leader, Mark Letestu is also on that line. It's the top line for the Oilers. Can only be effective when they're in the other end, but Foster just won't let him get the puck. Nick Schultz, Foster, he's behind net. There's Broussard in the one-on-one battle with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Broussard in the corner. Nugent-Hopkins spins him around. Letestu will get it to Foster. Tough sledding here. Behind the net, Letestu being watched by Nick Schultz. Letestu leaves it there for Vinny Foster. Foster to the middle with Lucy with it now. Interceptor pass intended for Letestu, but right to Happy Bull, and he's not going to take any chances. He wants things changed.
And I'll tell you, I think Letestu got a big...
It's just one rebound for Gabriel Blanchard. Back to Biardi now. Moving in. Biardi trying to make a move around Dalton Prout. Got the puck to Atkinson. Atkinson pass to Salvage didn't work. Slipped that by Sam Gagnon. Puts the puck in deep. Puts the puck now by Messina McKeith. They'll give it to Prout. The pass for Atkinson. He was checked there by Whitney. Trying to pick it up. There's Corey Hunter to play off to get it to Hemsky. Alex Hemsky trying to center it. Puck squirts free. Artem Anisimov. To Calvert to Atkinson. Atkinson, wrist shot, glove save. Abby Bullen, he'll hang on.
This is a replica of the remote that inspired the big win. The original was tragically lost in a couch.
Get your game on with Coors.
A time to play Safeway's $1 million score and win. If any Oilers player scores 5 goals in tonight's game, Evelyn Shehard of Edmonton could win $1 million. Shop and swipe at Safeway, and you could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet West.
McKenzie gets tied up. Comes along the boards, and Ryan Jones is there, and he sends it down the ice. A race for it again. Yakupov, this time against Eriksson, and he keeps it alive. So good hustle there by Neil Yakupov. Wasn't successful the first time in negating the icing. Was the second time. Into the corner it goes. And there is the captain comes around the boards. It's picked off. Mead and Petrie, the blue ladders, and Jared Holt, McKenzie, and Umberger are up front. Eric McKenzie. Gets in by Eriksson, throws it towards the net. Umberger providing the screen in front. And Schmid trying to clear him away. McKenzie with a shot that gets deflected wide. Jack Johnson buzzing down low. Umberger tries to wrap around and goes right through the blue paint. Schmid wants to relieve the pressure and does. Louis, we were told that the Rexall place actually has some dips in it. And I'm wondering if we're seeing that here in the first period.
Over the years, it's certainly slammed you on. Right. Happy Blue just saved his 9th shot of the period. And only 1 shot on net so far for the Edmonton Oilers. They're going to have to pick that end up.
Tell us, Oilers hockey right here on Sportsnet.
It's a Stanley Cup.
They're going to have to pick that end up.
Tell us, Oilers hockey right here on Sportsnet.
Taylor Hall, like many of the Edmonton Oilers this morning in the dressing room, we're talking about the fact that just down the road, Jerome McGinley was dealt on the part of the Calgary Flames. Growing up in Calgary for Taylor, Jerome was his favorite player, and the fact that McGinley was traded had the Oilers number 4 thinking about potentially being moved.
I hope I don't get traded anytime soon. I really like it here.
Well, I think he's safe, guys. If he ever did, everyone would be saying, what the hell's going on?
Hello. What the hell? And the Calgary Flames are here on Monday, and that's going to be a little bit strange, Lou, not to see number 12. And the Calgary Flames are here on Monday, and that's going to be a little bit strange, Lou, not to see number 12 up there, Jerome McGinley.
There will be no question about it. Obviously, the heart and soul and face of the franchise for so many years, 16 years. The National Hockey League All-World Organization, ever since the Dallas Stars.
Atkinson and Thomas extends the lead to 3-1.
Including 10 games at home.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of home games here for Edmonton down the stretch is a very good thing, and obviously not the home. Yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of home games here for Edmonton down the stretch is a very good thing, and obviously not the record they want to have. As you mentioned, a lot of home games here for Edmonton down the stretch is a very good thing, and obviously not the record they want to have. Thus far in the season, only 5 home wins for the Edmonton home. Yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of home games here for Edmonton down the stretch is a very good thing, and obviously not the record they want to have. Thus far in the season, only 5 home wins for the Edmonton Oilers. By Calgary, no question about that.
Fourth line trying to get something started here, but Krell charging the net. He threw a hit along with Mike Brown. And the test view dumps it down the ice. That line's going to head off. Get a big ovation here from the folks at Rexall Place. They appreciate that hard work. Hall brings it in. Hall, big shot. And this one doesn't get through it. Hall gets the puck right back again. Hall plays it back to the point. Hunter with a one-time. The last stop goes wide. Ryan Whitney waiting for it near side. Behind the net, Hall's got it. This line's starting to buzz. Johansson. Hopkins did Ryan Nugent Hopkins, but carrying on is Nikita Nikitin. Plays to Karen and to Hattie Boone. Comes out to Hall. Couldn't get it by Nikitin, but carrying on. Nugent Hopkins. Here comes Nugent Hopkins. Stop, drop pass. Whitney dancing in. Stopped by Bobrovsky. And back the other way. Jack Johnson stopped. Here we go, end to end. Hall leaves it there. Hemsky carries on. Oilers make a change. Calvert brings it back for Columbus. Calvert moving in with Atkinson. He'll play it behind the net. Waiting for it is Petrie against Atkinson. They come together. Out of Anisimov. His backhand blocked by Schmid. Atkinson moving in. Still has it. Now stripped to the puck. Magnus Piarvi at center. Lost the handle. Adrian Coyne. Quick pass to Calvert. And Calvert moving in with Atkinson. Atkinson trying to get the pass. It was broken up before it got there, but Anisimov carries on. He is checked by Piarvi. And here comes Sam Gagner. He's got Hemsky with him. Crisscross inside the blue line. Gagner turns into a cross line. Petrie walks in. Gets around Calvert. Petrie still has it. Now he has to deal with Jack Johnson. Petrie plays it back to the point. Speed waiting for it. Fires a shot towards the net. Shot from deflected wide. Got to get it on the blue line on the near side. 10:55 to go here in the first period. Columbus got a goal by Ted Atkinson. That's the lead. Petrie shot. Walkered away by Bobrovsky. Derek McKenzie avoids the big hit from Neil Yakupov. Yakupov has it go by, and Vinny Klosspool's got it now. Klosspool cross-ice feed. Feder Tootin. Flat pass. He was trying to get it to Klosspool. Klosspool to the middle. Atkinson, or that is McKenzie's shot. That was blocked. Furious pace in this first period. Nick Schultz with the puck now. He'll play it to Horkoff. Horkoff with Jones flying the zone. Yakupov has the puck. Here's Yakupov, fires a shot, and that one goes wide. Klosspool chops that puck out to center. Whitney with it now. Shot clock starting to settle down in terms of the Oilers. It is 9-4 now as Ryan Smith dishes on.
Much better transition for the last 3 minutes here for the Edmonton Oilers. All over it. Good quick transition from defense to offense. They're attacking their speed. They've had the Columbus Blue Jackets a couple times in line changes. Weren't able to capitalize, but you like to see them driving wide, getting pucks to the net. Bobrovsky had to come up with a couple of big saves.
R.J. Umberger moving in now. Umberger shot it. Abby Bouldin got a glove on that. On the ground on the far side against Ryan Johansson. Abby Bouldin slows it up. He'll give it to Potter. Quickly to Whitten. To the middle to Smith. Smith, Petrell, and Brown. Smith will backhand that in. It bounces right on to Sergei Bobrovsky. And he will hang on to it. Ryan Whitney. And for the Klosspool. And that is taken away. Nugent Hopkins to Hall. Hall. Across the ice for Eberle. Was broke up by Vinny Klosspool. Klosspool. And that is taken away from him by Nugent Hopkins. Here is Hall. Toe drag. Trying to get the shot away. And it was Dalton Proud who stole the puck and then knocked him down. Brassard. Letestu just inside the blue line. The Klosspool, but there was Ladislav Sneed. Brassard. Letestu. He's under pressure from Jeff Petrie. Petrie pass to Hall. Hall wasn't ready for it. And back to get it is James Wisniewski, and that's going to be icing.
With the ball next to doing what you'd rather do in your home ice if you live in the road. There's no question about that.
Their next 4 games are against either Calgary or Vancouver. They got home and home against Calgary, and then they meet with Vancouver on Saturday, and then they'll go to Vancouver to start a road trip that includes LA and Anaheim. Artem Anisimov, being wide by Justin Schultz. Hemsky gets it. He is checked by Feder Tootin. Here's Atkinson. Quick pass. Anisimov gets it back. Cross ice. Quick feed. Quick goal. And it's Matt Calvert. So that line strikes again. Matt Atkinson. Quick pass. Anisimov gets it back. Cross ice. Quick feed. Quick goal. And it's Matt Calvert. So that line strikes again. Atkinson. Matt Calvert gets his 5th goal of the season.
First playoff goal.
And it's 2-0.
Made it 4-1.
And a real nice pass here by Atkinson on just a little battle, a little bouncing puck. And this one looks harmless out of the zone. Good play here. And for Schultz, steps up here. Doesn't get puck. Doesn't really get man as it goes by him on a 2-on-1. And it's Atkinson with a nice little sauce pass over to Calvert. And he redirects it one-timer past Nikolai Habby Bouin, sorry. So 2 quick goals here in the first period.
Per game.
A 2-0 lead.
This is a team their points from one line. Artem Anisimov gets in on the scoring. So Calvert and Atkinson each have 2 points. They both add an assist. Anisimov gets his 3rd assist of the season. 12:04, the time of the goal. For Matt Calvert, he came in without a goal in his last 9 games. American lays it along the boards. The Blue Jackets making a change. Now on to Sergei Bobrovsky. And he will hang on to it. Ryan Whitney. And a great feed from Nugent Hopkins. By Bobrovsky.
75.
It's time now to play the Telus game of Fan Right, Fan Wrong Trivia. What year was the Oilers' inaugural NHL season? Was it 1960, 1970, 1971, or 1979? Enter for your chance to win an Optic TV and Samsung prize package valued at $13,000 or tickets to an upcoming Oilers home game. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit TELUS.com/hockey. For every completed entry, TELUS will donate $1 to Heroes Hockey, helping at-risk youth play Canada's game.
Talked about a home game team, the start of a 3-game homestand for the Edmonton Oilers. They will play Vancouver on Saturday, and as you mentioned, Calgary's here on Monday, and that Monday game we'll have for you on Sportsnet. 9:15 left to go in this first period. The Jackets with a 1-0 lead. Nugent Hopkins to Hall. Hall. Across the ice for Eberle. It was broke on the up by Vinny Costco. Costco. And had a taken away from Nugent Hopkins. Here's Hall. Toe dragging, trying to get the shot.
No item in Utah's 19 minutes, 10 seconds, 19 minutes, 12 seconds, 1 hour, 45 minutes.
Calgary on strike. Without Brandon Dubinsky, he has missed the last 3 with a knee injury. Not on the trip. That will continue into Calgary on Friday. Jordan Eberle from the corner. He'll play it back to the point. Give and go with Jeff Petrie. Hall behind the net now. Hall being watched by Johnson. Plays it back to Petrie. Petrie stops that shot, and that one goes just wide. Sean Collins pushes it out to center. Checked by Petrie. Turning now. Nugent Hopkins to Eberle. Quickly to Hall. Hall avoids the hit from Erickson. Hall driving for the net. Takes the shot. Deflected over top. Hall gets the puck back to Schultz. Nick Schultz will give it to Eberle. Eberle moves to the middle. Got surrounded. Stripped to the pocket. Away comes Letestu. Quickly to Brassard. Brassard with Russell driving the net. Rebound in front. Letestu jamming away. Andy Boulin shuts the door. Russell. And they keep it in for a while. And Nugent Hopkins at the end of the shift will give it to Leonard Petrell. He's going to head off. Ryan Smith will join that fourth line. Just over 6 minutes to go in the first period. Shots are 11-5 in favor of the Columbus Bluejackets, and the ball struggled mightily when they come to Northern Alberta. They have won just 2 of their last 10 visits. The Oilers on a 4-game winning streak against the Columbus Oilers here at Edmonton. They're going 4 right now. To the middle for Calvin. To Anisimov. Artem Anisimov moving in, trying to get it back to Matt Calvin. He was checked by Potter. Anisimov centers it, and there is Leonard Petrell to take it away. Petrell. Potter. Down to Smith. Ryan Smith is the fourth line for the Columbus Bluejackets, joins the fray. Just as the fourth line of the Edmonton Oilers gets off the ice. The second line out there now. Sam Gagner, 12 goals. No longer the points leader. That is Taylor Hall with 30. Gagner's got a dozen goals. Chipped by Piardi. Couldn't get it by James Wisniewski. Wisniewski gets shot by Hemsky. Hemsky digs at it. Trying to get it to Gagner. That was broken up. Gagner turns. It's a shot. Goes Magnus. Piardi scores. James Wisniewski. No item in Utah. By Hemsky. Hemsky digs at it. Piardi couldn't get it by James Wisniewski. Wisniewski gets shot by Hemsky. Hemsky digs at it. Trying to get it to Gagner. That was broken up. Turns. It's a shot. Goes Magnus. Piardi scores. Score! No item in Utah.
Are winning 2.
Right on the doorstep, Magnus Piardi. 2-1.
Well, Kevin, doesn't always have to be pretty. Just get a puck to the net. That's exactly what Sam Gagner does after some good work by Ales Hemsky on the line to keep this puck in. As it looks like it's almost about to go out. A good job here to convert it. It's a bouncing puck. Hemsky does that little button after just throws it towards Gagner. It's the spin around the one time, and it gets it down into the danger zone. And Piardi going to the net just picks it up and tucks it around Bobrovsky. And Magnus Piardi loves to play against the Bluejackets.
He's got 7 goals on the season. Without a point in his last 4 until right now. Goals on the season. Without a point in his last 4 until right now. Without a point in his last 4 until right now. 15:09 at the time of the goal. Horcock trying to keep that momentum going. John Horcock. Petrie steps into a shot. Jones the screen, but left you the save. A point knocked down Horcock. Right in the blue paint. Petrie. Keep that pick in. Speed will get it to Jones. And Jones goes cross-ice to Yakupov. To Petrie. Petrie trying to go up high. Fired it a little bit too high. Ends up going up and out. Magnus Bjarmi, 7 goals in the season. It's 2-1. Magnus Bjarmi, 7 goals in the season. It's 2-1.
Series.
A big welcome and thank you to everybody, the Canadian Forces watching us on television, listening to us. Apple Safeway and Neighbor Coffee, Sherry Pernew of Fort McMurray has won the Lagostina 11-piece cookware set on the goal. His 7th of the season. Magnus Bjarmi at 15:09. 3:55 to go in the first period. The Bluejackets 11 shots, the Oilers 7. Nugent Hopkins, Everly, and Hall out there now.
2 minutes.
R.J. Umberg moving in with shots.
2 minutes.
Umberg stopped up in the corner.
1 minute 52 seconds. 1 minute.
Umberger takes a look, gets it down low. Ryan Johansson, checked by Ryan Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins gets the puck to Everly. Everly gets it to Hall. Hall with speed across the blue line. Taylor Hall going wide. Checked there by Nikita. Nikita goes down. Hall gives the puck to Nikita. Nikita checked by Everly, but he gets it to Dalton Prout. Prout quickly to Umberg. Umberg goes cross-ice. That pass was intended for Sean Collins. Too far for him, and it's going to be an icing call.
The breathing technique.
Hockey game here. 7 power play goals this season. And that is tied for 4th in the league.
The time is 17 minutes, 3 seconds.
They have not scored a power play goal against the Columbus Blue Jackets this season. The series that could change right here. Jordan Everly didn't get that patented backhand away. Whitney at the point. Ryan Whitney. Down low quickly to Everly. He'll give it to Gagne. Sam Gagne. Magnus Bjarmi in the blue paint, getting hacked at by Sergei Bobrovsky. Gagne beats it up front for Everly. Couldn't get the shot. Gagne will try from a sharp angle and went right through the blue paint. The Columbus Blue Jackets 14th best at penalty killing. Whitney takes a look. Just over a minute in the penalty to Artem Anisimov. Hall steps over the boards. Nugent Hopkins with it now, trying to get it to Hall. And Taylor Hall just a little bit anxious, trying to get his 3rd power play goal of the season. He was offside.
Here's that earlier chance. As it was Gagne below the goal line, just threads this one through. And if you look at the background there, a good stick defense by the forward collapsing down McKenzie to not allow that puck to get right to Jordan Everly that was driving to the net. So it was hard to see from this angle, but it was a perfect stick check there by McKenzie that broke that up.
55 seconds left to go in the first power play of the game. Justin Schultz, the lone blue liner. He'll bring it across the line himself. Drop it back. Hemsky waiting for it there. Gives it back to Schultz. He is under pressure from Nikita Nikitin, and Halbert sends it the rest of the way. That will chase Ales Hemsky back into his own zone. R.J. Umberger keeps an eye on him, but Hemsky's got speed. Here comes Ales Hemsky flying across the blue line. Hemsky cutting for the net. Ales Hemsky is stopped by Bobrovsky. Rebound for Horcock, gets by it. Nikita Nikitin without his stick. Back to the point. Justin Schultz. Ales Hemsky. Hemsky back to Schultz. Schultz, wrist shot, and that one sails over top of the net. 18 seconds of power play time remaining. A point against Nugent Hopkins. Umberger against Hall. The puck comes free, and Atkinson sends it the length of the ice. Ales Hemsky with the afterburner. Once he drew a penalty, and the next time he got a good scoring chance. No shots for the Oilers on that one as the penalty is over. And Anisimov out of the box. Less than a minute to go. It is first. Backhanded in by Brown. He's going to race after it. We get the whistle. And off by Brown. He's going to race after it. We get the whistle and an offside call. Minute to go. It is first. Wisniewski. Batted in by Brown. He's going to race after it. We get the whistle and an offside call.
As you mentioned, Kevin Alashemsky just flying in this game tonight. Drew that penalty, even though maybe it wasn't a penalty. But because he was going so fast, it was pretty hard to read. Here's this rush that on the power play. He takes it, and look at his head up the whole time. And he knows that he has a step on the key, so he tries to go short side of Bobrovsky. But one of the few guys in the league that can skate as fast with a puck as he can without it and control it all the way. Good rush there by Hemsky on that power play.
And that was the only shot the Oilers got on that power play. 8 shots for them right now. The Blue Jackets with 11.
That's typically the problem when you're the fastest guy on the ice is for guys to keep up with you.
Yeah.
Get there to a place where you can be an option for a pass. But I like that from Hemsky when he takes it to the net. Not always looking to pass first. He has that speed. He used it there to drive it right to the point.
Hemsky with 8 goals on the season. Eberle. Magnus Bjarvi. Sam Gagner. And Gagner stopped by Broussard. Winding down in the period. Here's Bjarvi certainly. Plays it off the glass. Back to touch it is Petter Tooten, and that's going to be icing with 7.9. There's a last shot by Atkinson. And Abby Bullen makes the save. The Blue Jackets with a 2-1 lead. Darren Millard will send it back to you guys and the pen.
I like that introduction.
Because you were the one trying to ready to play. When the skill guys start slow, those guys picked it up. Good work tonight by the fourth line. Louie and Kevin to you.
All right, guys, thanks very much. Second period is underway, and that line that scored is up there now. The quick shot right off the hop again for Cam Atkinson. You talk about a line feeling it. It's this Anisimov, Atkinson, Calvert line, and here they come again. Calvert fires a shot, and that one whistles wide. Petter Tooten able to keep it in. Atkinson behind the net. Gets by him. Taylor Hall will pick it up. Oilers weather that storm. Now 30 seconds into the period. Nugent Hopkins to Hall, to Eberle. Jordan Eberle dances in. Jordan Eberle scores! Weather that storm. Now 30 seconds into the period. Nugent Hopkins to Hall, to Eberle. Jordan Eberle dances. Nugent Hopkins to Hall, to Eberle. Jordan Eberle dances in. Jordan Eberle scores!
Second period, it's 4-3.
And all three get involved, Kevin, in different ways. Great defensive play by Hall down low to battle for a puck. He just chips it over to Jordan Eberle. Eberle gets this puck, finds Nugent Hopkins, who takes ice up the ice and gives a nice little backhand feed to Hall. Great.
Jordan Eberle's got 10 goals on the year.
R.J. Eberle, 5-3 Columbus.
And all three get involved, Kevin, in different ways. Great defensive play by Hall down low to battle for a puck. He just chips it over to Jordan Eberle. Eberle gets this puck, finds Nugent Hopkins, who takes ice up the ice and gives a nice little backhand feed to Hall. Great to Eberle, and boy, did he ever dance his way into the middle room as he puts it home for a 2-2 game.
39 seconds into the period. Jordan Eberle's got 10 goals on the year. Those guys combined. Jordan Eberle's got 10 goals on
38 for Edmonton and 41 seconds
the year. Those guys combined for 8 points in the game against St. Louis. They pick up 3 more points here. Taylor Hall now has 23 overs, 31 points. And we're tied at 2 as Alexander brings it first to Newman. Regani back on, and that one goes wide. Second moving forward for that Justin Strong. Regani gets the lead his legs. Well, the first period scoring summary brought to you by Worley Parsons Ford. Now hiring trades in oil country. Visit WorleyParsons.com/careers and apply today. And there's what happened 10 seconds in, Louis. Now, Magnus Piarvi's goal is a significant one because Ales Hemsky gets a milestone assist.
Yeah, he does. It's 318.
There's what happened 10 seconds in, Louis. Now, Magnus Piarvi's goal is a significant one because Ales Hemsky gets a milestone.
The second period.
Worley Parsons will be the call. Drop. Well, the first period scoring summary brought to you by Worley Parsons Ford. Now hiring trades in oil country. Visit WorleyParsons.com/careers and apply today. And there's what happened 10 seconds in, Louis. Now, Magnus Piarvi's goal is a significant one because Ales Hemsky gets a milestone assist.
Yeah, he does. It's 318th assist of his career, and it passes Ryan Smith in his own contest for 7th place now. Here's the tying goal by Jordan Eberle early in the second period. A much better start for Edmonton as he walks his way in and tucks it home.
Derek Brassard with a puck now. It's picked off before he can get to him. No! Justin Schultz. And Louis, you know, fighters make fights. I think if the Oilers are happy with the pace right now, this more suited to their run and gun style. Yakupov trying to turn and get a shot away. I don't think Todd Richards wants his team playing this way for 60 minutes.
No, not at all. On the latter half of that first period, you saw the pace pick up, and that's when Edmonton started to generate most of their chances. Quick transitions like that first pass there by Whitney, up the ice, attacking aggressively, pushing the Columbus Bluejackets into the defensive zone. Because when Columbus has the opportunity to get pucks in and cycle, they're very hard-working, good team down low, and they can control the pace.
Albert with the puck now. This has been the most dangerous line for the Columbus Bluejackets. Artem Anisimov behind the net. Cutter watching him. Racing over is Atkinson. Cam Atkinson turns. Cam Atkinson moving in. Still hasn't taken a shot yet. Still has the puck. He'll play it back. And it's got by Eriksson.
It's 2 goals of an
Louis, you know all that stuff you said about... Well, we'll get to that in a second as Calvert walks in. Calvert shot stopped by Harry Boulin. Score and win winner. Hall punches that puck in. Sergei Bobrovsky stops it. He'll play it himself. Gets it by Nugent Hopkins temporarily. And then Nugent Hopkins with that quick stick able to keep it in for the Oilers. Artem, well, that's Sean Collins now with Johansson. Hall tracked him down. Eberle racing. Gets the puck ahead of R.J. Umberger. Umberger gives it to Fedor-Sutin. He'll play it to the corner. Waiting for it there is Collins. Collins behind the net for Umberger. Umberger sweeps the puck towards the net. Didn't make it through. Now, another opportunity deflected just wide. Collins now to Umberger. R.J. Umberger looking for Ryan Johansson. Jordan Eberle turns, takes the hit. Columbus Bluejackets making a line change. Oilers want to make one too. Dalton Brout going up the middle. Pass picked off there by Magnus Piarvi. Piarvi has to wait for Gagne to clear the zone. Gagne looking for Hemsky. Too far for him. Piarvi first on it. Gets it to Hemsky. Hemsky plays it to the near side. Sam Gagne has it now. Gagne goes behind the net. Here's Ales Hemsky. Piarvi's out in front. Gagne with the puck down. Plays it all the way across. It took a funny hop. Gets back to the point. Kept in though. The Oilers applying pressure with their second line. Gagne gets it to Hemsky. Ales Hemsky. He gets tied up by James Wisniewski. Puck comes free for Piarvi. Turns. His shot is blocked by Latescu. Good job to keep it in for Ladislav Schmid. Hemsky again circling the net. Ales Hemsky. Back to the point it comes. Petrie fans on the shot. Gets it again. Jeff Petrie still has it. Now he'll play it off the end boards for Hemsky. Hemsky. With Piarvi in front. Jeff Petrie with it now. Steps into a slap shot. Hand save by Sergei Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky has seen enough. He will cover up and get the whistle. The fans here appreciate the effort of the second line.
for game 1. It's hard.
Excellent shift in the offensive zone. This line good cycle.
And get the whistle. And the fans here appreciate the effort of the second line.
Excellent shift in the offensive zone by this line. Good cycle down low. And a couple of real good second efforts to keep pucks alive in the battle. And for Bobrovsky, he said, I've seen enough here. I'm not going to let this continue to go on. And he probably could have just played this puck, and he decides to cover it up. and get a whistle and get some fresh bodies on.
He'll cover it up again. Sergei Bobrovsky has been the reason Columbus has got themselves back in the playoff picture.
Yeah, no question about it, especially when you look at 8-1-4 since February 26th to the day. And, the last 18 starts that he's had, he's allowed 26 to the day. And, the last 18 starts that he's had, he's allowed 4 since February 26th to the day. 9 of them. And, the last 18 starts that he's had, he's allowed 1 or less goals in 9 of those 18 games. So pretty impressive numbers for Sergei Bobrovsky. Big reason why they had that 12-game, at least the point streak, and they did not lose in regulation.
And he got the win in relief in that game March 5th in Columbus, a 4-3 shootout win for the Bluejackets. This is the rubber match of the 3-game series.
Yeah, that was kind of the starting point for the Bluejackets turnaround, in my opinion. They really kind of seemed to solidify after that game. As you mentioned, he came in early in the second period, did not let in a goal in the remaining 39 minutes of that game, and then stopped all shootout shooters for Edmonton to win that game in the shootout. From that point on, they went on a tear and are right now back in the mix in the Western Conference.
Just 2 regulation losses since February the 24th. One of them to Nashville, the other one to Chicago. Nikita takes a big hit there from Leonard Petrell. Brown gives him a bump as well. Nikita. Tim Erickson to the middle to Anisimov. Anisimov can't get by Justin Schultz. Back the other way comes Brown. Brown to the opposite corner. Leonard Petrell against Nikita. Behind the net for Brown. He gets tied up there by Tim Erickson. Petrie keeps it in. Jeff Petrie behind the net. Another hard-working shift for this fourth line is Schmid trying to get it to Ryan Smith. Cut off there by Nikita. He pushes it to Anisimov. Takes a bump from Brown. And the Columbus Blue Jackets have to battle just to get the puck out of their own zone. Brown chips it in and then heads off. That allows Ralph Kruger to get that top line right back out there. Collins will tip it in. He'll go after it against Jeff Petrie. Sean Collins gets there first, playing in his 3rd National Hockey League game. Is number 43. Back to the point. Wisniewski. Didn't get it through. Follows up. James Wisniewski with it now. Wisniewski trying to get by Schmid. Plays it out in front. Sitting there. Now it's the opposite corner. Hall. Nugent Hopkins. Joining the rush is Petrie. Jeff Petrie. Around the boards it goes. Waiting for it there is Hall. Taylor Hall. Trying to get a shot. He'll instead give it to Potter. Down low. Potter for Everly. Nugent Hopkins. Umber. Chips at it against him. Everly with the puck now. Everly through. Here's an opportunity. Back to the point. Potter steps into a shot. Big save. Backhand chance. That was blocked before it could get through. Oilers keeping the pressure on. Everly gets a high stick. Penalty coming. And the Oilers will get their second power play. All action. All energy. Everly draws the penalty. Collins headed to the box. Everly draws the penalty. Collins.
Replays and live shots from our net cams are brought to you by LASIK MD, providing you with a 20/20 view of all the action. And the view of the action right now for Sean Collins, not so great. Not normally used to being in a spot like this. Because when he went to school, he went to Cornell, an Ivy League school where academics are very important. And when he played for Cornell University, he got his degree in finance, 3.8 GPA, best on the team. My most impressive course he was in was derivatives and risk management. I don't believe I took that course.
Yeah, you were away on sign-up day, I think. The Oilers' second power play, they got one shot the last time they had the man advantage. Power play looking for its first goal against Columbus. They are 0 for 8 so far as Taylor Hall. Power play looking for its first goal against Columbus. They are 0 for 8 so far as Taylor Hall looking for its first goal against Columbus. They are 0 for 8 so far as Taylor Hall winds up. Here comes Hall against Adrian Aquilin. He gets stopped, but carrying on is Justin Schultz. Justin Schultz circles the net. Schultz gets it to Hall on the near side. Hall to the corner it goes. Aquilin battling with Horkoff. Aquilin bounces that puck towards the blue line. Justin Schultz keeps it in, gives it to Empty, cross ice. Nugent Hopkins will pick it up, settle it down on the half wall. Nugent Hopkins to the corner. That is picked off by the veteran Aquilin. He plays it along the wall. Nikita trying to get it out. Can't get it by Nugent Hopkins. He goes down. Then Hall goes down. Horkoff gets shoved to the ice. It's a battle in the trench On the near wall, Justin Schultz with it now. He'll go cross ice, get it right back again. Here's Hall. Taylor Hall with a wrist shot through traffic, and that was deflected wide. And front Gene all over the captain.
Well, lots of soccer to tell you about. 3 matches at 8:30 a.m. Mountain this Saturday morning. Newcastle and Manchester City, Sportsnet West. Tottenham takes on Swansea City on Sportsnet 1. Reading plays Arsenal on Sportsnet World. Then at 11 a.m., Mountain on Sportsnet 1. Stoke City meets Everton, and in MLS action, the Whitecaps head to LA to take on Chivas USA at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Saturday evening on Sportsnet 1. My day and evening are planned.
Take a breath, Gene. 46 seconds left to go on the penalty to Sean Collins. I guess he's one of those guys go, hey, smart guy. He goes, yeah, I am. Whitney back to pick it up. And Whitney loans the power play that has 30 seconds left in it. Van Gundy going in against Jack Johnson. Back to the point. Whitney is there. He's got Yakupov. Dale Yakupov goes cross ice. Gundy down low. Angus Piarvi's in front. Emily couldn't get it to him, and now 15 seconds to go. Abby Bluin will leave it there for Whitney. A chance for one last rush with a man advantage. Halbert and Atkinson on the penalty kill along with Jack Johnson and Penner too. Jordan Eberle moving in. Eberle lost it at the last second. A bouncing puck swung at, and right out of the penalty box comes Collins, and he's got it now. Collins holds up. Whitney trying to clear it. Oilers want to get a change. Sent down into Oilers territory and then out of play. Telus Oilers hockey from Rexall Place. 2-2 tie on Sports. Telus Oilers hockey from Rexall Place. 2-2 tie on Sports.
No item is.
Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's hockey game is Nabob Coffee. Meanwhile, Oiler fans, it's your last chance to decide which minor hockey teams get to train like the pros with the 4 Drills and Skills contest. Go to 4drillsandskills.ca to see which teams made it through to the final round and cast your vote for the winners. Voting closes on Saturday.
Oilers out shooting Columbus 5-2 in this second period. Mike Brown and Jared Bowl are going to square up. Louis, you saw this right away. It's all Jared Bowl and Mike Brown. Each guy with 9 fights so far. Bowl and Brown. And look at Mike Brown. Switches it right there. And he's attacking Jared Bowl. Bowl comes down with the right hand of his own. Super Bowl uses his helmet. Brown left and right with his butt.
Stanley Cup
Bowl trying to hold him on and keep the punch count down. Both exchanging right hands. Brown connects there on the helmet of Jared Bowl. Couple of uppercuts. Linesman letting him go. Mark Wheeler, Brian Knox, finally step in. And the fans here at Rexall come to their feet.
That's the third time these two guys have fought each other in the National Hockey League careers, and that one. Probably the best one. Both guys got their shots in. And Brown was bleeding pretty good coming off the ice from the forehead area. So a good shot landed by Bull. He landed a couple early real good shots on Bull. The bigger guy, longer arms, tried to stretch Brown out, but those rapid fists coming his way. A good tilt. Both guys getting their licks in, that's for sure.
A much longer fight for Mike Brown than the one he had with Barrett Jackman in St. Louis on Tuesday. But now Brown is going to have to go and get some repairs, as Louis mentioned, and you saw it, he was bleeding.
Getting a pretty good ovation here from the Edmonton crowd as well. They love the way he's played here in Edmonton. Come in with a lot of energy. Let's see his 10th fighting major of the year, tied with the guy that he just fought, Jared Bowl, as you mentioned earlier, Kevin. So a real good spirited tilt there.
The 2-2 game. How would you call that one, play doctor?
Pretty hard to tell first take. I want to say that those guys got their shots in. I think that Obviously, Bull got a good one in the cut ground, but he also got a few in there that stumbled Bull early on, so I call it a draw.
Either 10-6-3 for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Brown connects there on the helmetless Jared Bull.
After the fight.
Couple of wins. Brown connects there on the helmetless Jared Bull.
Have fought each other in the National Hockey League careers, and that one there probably ended a couple of those rapid fists coming his way. Good tilt. Both guys getting their licks in, that's for sure.
A much longer fight for Mike Brown than the one he had with Barrett Jackman in St. Louis on Tuesday. But now Brown is going to have to go and get some repairs. A much longer fight for Mike Brown than the one he had with Barrett Jackman in St. Louis on Tuesday. But now Brown is going to have to go and get some repairs, as Louis mentioned, and you saw 6-3.
Yeah, pretty good ovation here from the Edmonton crowd. He's played here in Edmonton, come in with a lot of energy, physicality. His 10th fighting major of the year tied him together. He just fought Jared Bull, as you mentioned earlier, Kevin. So, real good spirited tilt there.
How would you call that one fight, Doctor?
Pretty hard to tell first thing. I want to say the both guys got their shots in. I think that obviously Bull got a good one in the cut ground, but he also pretty hard to tell first take. I want to say that both guys got their shots in. I think that obviously Bull got a good one in the cut ground, but he also got a few in there that stumbled Bull early on, so I call it a draw in the B treatment.
It's a draw. We'll see what that does to either team in terms of life. The Oilers with some pressure now. And it's coming from Ryan Jones out there on that line. Everly on the ice, Justin Schultz with a puck, fires it towards the net, doesn't get through. Brassard's got it. Front pass for Foxbull. He didn't get to it. Kim Harrison gets it back to center. Flipped in by Derek Brassard. The line wants to change. Justin Schultz is going to go back and pick it up. Up line on the ice. There the Oilers right now. They are responsible for the tying goal. Paul trying to find his way through eight-man point. Gets it to Everly. Everly lays it back to the point, but it gets by Corey Connor. The rush is on now. Ryan Whitney has the angle on Cam Atkinson. He'll play it off the board for Hall. Quick pass up for Everly. Jordan Everly moving in with Nugent Hopkins. And both Johnson and Calvert converge, and now a coin behind the net has tied up Everly. Calvert gets it to Atkinson. Atkinson to Anisimov. Artem Anisimov with Jack Johnson. Pass just out of his reach as Otter took care of Anisimov. Back the other way we go. Stretch pass for Jordan Everly. That one just missed.
This perfectly preserved uniform came to us by a generous donation from our champion's wife.
Get your game on with Pools.
Hockey Central Trade Deadline is presented by Coors Light. Sportsnet will have full-day coverage next Wednesday, April 3rd, tracking every team on TV, radio, online, and mobile. Stay in the know on every trade, any way, anywhere, anytime.
And for the second straight year, the Oilers will be on the road and in a Canadian city. They'll be in Calgary on trade deadline day. You and I were in Winnipeg last trade deadline day. 2-2 the score, 7:45 to go in the second period. Bluejackets with 14 shots, the Oilers with 13, the only goal in this period. Off the stick of Jordan Everly. Lipinski. To Gagne. Gagne to Viardi. Viardi going in against James Wisniewski. Wisniewski takes him into the boards. Wisniewski missed the last 14 with a broken foot. R.J. Umberger. Vinny Possible. Getting there ahead of Petrie. Turns, but Petrie stays calm. The puck comes around the near side. Viardi. Quick little pass to Alex Hemsky. Hemsky. Across the blue line. Alex Hemsky stops up. Cross-ice pass was picked off by Letestu. But Gagne manages to keep it in. Hemsky in there in support. Gagne gets it to him. Alex Hemsky back to Gagne. Sam Gagne. Drop pass for Justin Schultz, but he had Foxbull right in his face. Schultz to Schmid. Schmid will play it off the boards, and that one goes out of play.
Well, nice play there by Vinny Prospero. And I don't know, I've never really liked the drop pass right in the blue line when you have a guy right on you and he's 4 feet away. And Prospel did a good job there to get a stick on it. He gets by that defender's gun. When you look at the numbers for Prospel, with some pretty solid company right there along the Czech-born players in the National Hockey League. He's one of those guys that you and I always talk about, is just keeps plugging along, keeps doing his thing. Gets great praise from Todd Richardson and how he approaches the game, how he comes to every practice thing. Gets great praise from Todd Richardson and I always talk about, is just keeps plugging along, keeps doing his thing. Gets great praise from Todd Richardson and how he approaches the game, how he comes to every practice, the positive energy that he brings to the table each and every day.
5-time 20-goal scorer, leads this team in goals and in points. But it is this line that has done the damage. Calvert, Atkinson, and Anisimov. And Calvert against Justin Schultz. Calvert comes out, takes a shot. Happy Golden takes it up high. Anisimov paddles at it, but Horkoff deflects it into the corner. Anisimov for Atkinson. Cam Atkinson trying to get away from Nick Schultz. Atkinson. Calvert out in front. Atkinson turns, lets a shot go. It's sitting in the blue paint. And Nikolai.
The wood that he wants to take.
And now Leonard Petrell. A shot that gets deflected wide. Smith behind the net. We'll get it to Petrell. Petrell back to the point. Corey Potter. He'll go cross-site for Ryan Whitney. Whitney off the board. Went to Smith. Backhand attempt. Crowd in front. A smart play by Ryan Whitney. He played it off those end boards, and Ryan Smith almost took advantage. Back the other way. Pass for Collins. He gets stumped. And a penalty coming up to Leonard Petrell.
Drafted a lot of games.
First power play. They have 4 power play goals on the road. That is fewest in the National Hockey League. Umberger. He and Ryan Johansson, along with Jack Johnson, Artem Anisimov, and James Wisniewski. Ryan Smith and Sean Horkoff start this penalty kill along with Schmid and Petrie. Wisniewski back into his own zone. Pass for Johansson, too far for him. Petrie loses an edge. He's got a problem with his skate right now. He's going to have to work his way over.
There's something loose, a strap or something.
And he stepped on that, went down, but he is safely off the ice. Nick Schultz and Corey Potter are out there now. Anisimov to the corner against Nick Schultz. Potter can't get it by Umberger, but now it slowly comes ahead. And here's an opportunity for Gagne. Gagne moving in with Jones. Jones! Stopped by Bobrovsky. Back the other way. Gets by Umberger, and there is Potter. The Oilers with 4 shorthanded goals this season.
That was a great pass by Gagne, Kevin. And a good job by both Gagne and Jones to get to that spot, create the 2-on-1 shorthanded. And a real nice save by Bobrovsky on that shot by Jones.
Broussard across the blue line. And offside is the call. We take
one shorthanded. And a real nice save by Bobrovsky on that shot by Jones.
Broussard across the blue line. Offside is the call.
And it's 7-3 for the Bluejackets.
We take a look.
It's good read by Jones to go inside, let Gagne take the puck. And he gets a real nice pass through. And here's that last little fall down by Jeff Petrie. Look at the right skate. There's something coming down. It looks like it's the brace. And he gets a real nice pass through. And here's that last little fall down by Jeff Petrie. Look at the right skate. There's something coming down. It looks like it's the brace. Or a piece of tape that was wrapped around the ankle that came down and acted like a banana here. He went down pretty quick.
He's got it all fixed up and he's back out there. And there's 20 seconds left to go. Here comes Petrie. Jeff Petrie moving in. Petrie's shot. High and wide. Jeff Petrie with 3 goals on the season.
So Jeff Petrie's been really active in this game tonight, though, jumping up into the play. He's had about 4 times where he's had that puck in that area. And he loves to shoot that puck high. As a defender, typically you shoot low pucks. When he gets alone the goalie, he's going for under the ball.
Petrell is out of the penalty box. Stepping into a shot is Nikitin. That went off Eberle. Now it comes free. Leonard Petrell works it way out and gets it to Eberle. Eberle will backhand it in. Bouncing puck comes right to Bobrovsky, and he will hold on to it with Eberle.
Their skate. The weirdest thing is like, I wonder if I don't have an edge or what's happening.
Nugent out.
Can't get a handle on it when to go.
Back to
Using Nugent Hopkins pretty effective at kicking that puck to his skate. Couldn't get that one to go.
Potter shot stopped by Calvert. And it's got all the way through. Corey Potter back to get it. Nice little pass to Hall. Hall stopped by McKenzie. Letestu looking for Calvert. Broken up. Nugent Hopkins coming back. Almost gave it away to Mark Letestu, but he did get it to Corey Potter. Over 2.5 minutes to go in the period. Hall looking for Whitney. That was broken up, and back come the Columbus Blue Jackets. Mark Letestu steps into a slap shot. Happy Bullen the save, and the puck ends up in the net. Happy Bullen made the stop. Slap shot. Happy Bullen this broken up, and back come the Columbus Blue Jackets. Mark Letestu steps into a slap shot. Happy Bullen the save, and the skate of it.
They cheered for him.
The net.
Mark Letestu.
Happy Bullen made the stop.
Blue Jackets goal.
Small argument that he might have.
Happy Bullen made the stop.
There's a small argument that he might have kicked this one in, Ken.
It's 8-3.
And I saw
Calvert.
that.
Happy Bullen made the stop.
Was waved off.
There's a small argument that he might have kicked this one in, Ken. And I saw
Calvert.
small argument that he might have kicked this one in, Ken. And I saw
Calvert.
But it looks like they're going to call it a goal for sure as he was going down. It looks like he might have swung that leg, but a good shot catches Happy Bullen high, and as Calvert goes to the net, he might have swung that leg, but a good shot catches Happy Bullen high, and as Calvert goes to the net, he just kind of, as he's falling, it goes off of his skate. So you tell me, is that a kicking motion or not? Definitely goes off of his foot into the net. It's going to be pretty hard to prove that he did that intentionally, but I don't know. You tell me, Kevin. It's a tough one.
He was knocked down as he drove the net by Nugent Hopkins.
Now, does it matter if it was an intentional or unintentional kicking motion? I think in this case, he was getting upended at the time, so in that process is when his skate hit that puck. But a good drive wide by Columbus, a good hard shot high that catches Happy Bullen in the shoulder. Matt Calvert's had a real solid game.
No item.
Game so far. And looking to get his second goal and third point of the game.
And it was called a goal on the ice.
Yeah.
Rob Bartel is in conversation with Toronto as we take a look at the Lasik net cam.
I mean, there's two ways to look at this, and for me, I see Calvert looking down where the puck is at the time that he's starting to get upended, so he knows where his foot is in place, but obviously being there and being taken out of the play, he has no choice but to use his feet. So right there at the last second, you can see him getting upended. His stick comes up off the ice. That's when the skate hits the puck and goes in. He didn't know what to do when he went down the ice, but pretty good game so far. We'll see what they say.
2:27 left to go in the second period.
I got a hunch they're going to count this one just because of the way that he went down. And pretty hard to say that you kicked the puck even
as you're going down.
And you were falling back on your back. So
that's Louis DeBrusk still.
Now,
when he was playing for
if there was
London
nobody
Knights.
interfering with Calvert when he went to the net, then I'd say no way.
Right.
But because somebody was, I can't remember who the player was that was taking him out of play, Nugent Hopkins, you know, upending him at that time, it's kind of out of his ability to really say, hey, I was falling down. I wasn't doing anything else.
He did end up doing a snow angel. Here is Rob Martel with the call. It was called a goal on the ice, but no back in the war room in Toronto. And it's saved. Goal on the ice, get off the board. It was called a goal on the ice, but overruled back in the war room in Toronto. and it stays a 2-2 game.
And I think maybe that little peek down by Calvert, if you watch the video, you see him look down. He knows where that puck is, so obviously he has that sense of where it is towards the net. And right there the whole time till that point, he has the vision of the puck. That's a tough one for me, I'll tell you what. Big break for the Oilers right there.
See if they can take advantage of it. Ryan Johansson. It's checked by Hemsky, and Alex Hemsky ends up with the puck. Alex Hemsky drops for Justin Schultz. Schultz back to Hemsky. Hemsky couldn't get the shot away. Nikita picks it up in the corner. They'll play it along for Sean Collins. Collins, Johansson, and Elmberger, the forward line for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Ryan Johansson with the backside. That goes right through. Right with a shot. That gets deflected wide. Big hack by Ryan Johansson. Umberger can't keep it in. Opportunity for Magnus Piarvi on the far side. He'll drop it back instead to Nick Schultz. Schultz to Justin Schultz. Schultz will go right up the middle. Sam Gagner fanned on that shot, and Keaton gets it right out to Anisimov. Anisimov, Atkinson, and Calvert 3-on-2. Oilers in a line change. There's a shot, and there's a goal. A water Calvert fanned on that to Justin Schultz. Schultz will go right up the middle. Sam Gagner to Justin Schultz. Schultz will go right up the middle. Sam Gagner fanned on that shot, and Keaton gets it right out to Anisimov. Anisimov, Atkinson, and Calvert 3-on-2. Oilers in a line change. There's a shot, and there's a goal. Up the middle.
Puck in deep is towards a short set.
This game for the Columbus Blue Jackets. 36 seconds to go. And up with 27 seconds to go. The look, he's got Jesse Calvert on him. He'll give it to Ryan Whitney. Whitney. Corey Potter takes a look. He's got Jesse Calvert on him. He'll give it to Ryan Whitney. Whitney to Jordan Eberle. Eberle on him. He'll give it to Ryan Button hook for Eberle. To Whitney, rich shot, and that one missed the target. Jack Johnson ahead to Calvert. Calvert with Atkinson driving the net. Fires the shot. That was blocked. Got it again. Backhand right through, right at the horn. What a period. We've got more prizes. Swiping a free club card at Safeway. Raymond Cardes of Brand Prairie won the DVD prize pack. More prizes. Swiping a free club card at Safeway. Raymond Cardes of Brand Prairie won the DVD prize pack from E1, courtesy of Safeway, Nabob Coffee, and the captain, Sean Horkoff, at 19:05. Darren Millard. Hey, 3-3 game. Even you guys, past your bedtime, still interested in this one.
You produce plays like that, we'll stay up all night long. We have some outer...
Yakupov gets in third period from Ralph Kruger.
Louis and Kevin, let's see what happens.
All right, gentlemen, 9 minutes and 50 seconds for Nail Yakupov. 2:40 as we are set for this third period. Tied at 3. The Oilers have 40 as we are set for this third period. Tied at 3. The Oilers have 1 point. A game that was tied heading into the third. Stanley Cup final. Sam Gagner, quarter final. Sweeps it around the boards. Waiting for it there is Wisniewski. He's got the RB on him. Hemsky as well. The back to the right up the middle. Gagner almost got to him, but Calvert was there to push it away, and he'll get it to Atkinson. Atkinson, cross-ice speed, and there's a good bounce shot. Alex Hemsky against part of Anisimov, and Anisimov gives it on a shot and goal. 27 seconds into the Atkinson. Cross-ice speed, and there's a good bounce shot. Put it away, and he'll get it to Atkinson. Atkinson, cross-ice speed, and there's a good bounce shot. Alex Hemsky against part of Anisimov, and Anisimov steals it on a shot and goal.
He scores! Nail Yakupov! 38 seconds into the third period in game 1 of the quarterfinal, and it's 7-4.
Into the period.
Well, what amazing turn of events here. A good chance on one end. Looks like it's going to be an opportunity for Sam Gagner in the high slot. On this breakdown the other way. Alex Hemsky does a great job to get back, interfere, the steal by Anisimov shortly thereafter. And from a very similar position that Atkinson scored very early, 10 seconds in the first period. He gets his shot through a lot of bodies, and it finds its way through as Calvert gets knocked down off the stick. direction, bounces past Nikolai Habibullin, a tough one there. And a 4-3 lead for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
And aggravated from Anisimov at 27 seconds into the period. And a goalie change as Devin Dubnyk is in. And Devin Dubnyk made 39 saves in the game February the 10th in a 3-1 win. Now he goes to work in a relief role.
Replay of that shot for me, there's a lot of bodies in front, the puck changed direction, and it slips in beside the post. So he doesn't look too happy right now afterwards. Maybe this is just a spark by Ralph Kruger to get things going, but here it is here. He gets down, obviously redirected inside the post, wasn't a whole lot of room for that puck to go through, but it's found its way. And maybe for Ralph Kruger just trying to find a spark here, wants the goalie to be a little bit better. Although I don't think they had to do with the break for those two shots coming from that angle. I think they're both redirected last time.
1-0-1 is Devin Dubnyk this year, 5-3-2 in his career against the Columbus Blue Jackets. 4 goals on 78 shots, including a 39-save effort among his first of February 10 playoffs. May.01. He was the spark of the goal by John Horkoff. And he brought it back the other way. Russell brought back Johnson, second intercept, for Devin Dubnyk, and a quick defensive play there by Magnus Piari to take away a rebound chance from Mark Letestu.
He took the goal. That was a goal for sure by Letestu. Big save by Dubnyk on the block by Johnson. He just teed it up, and Letestu on the doorstep had a wide open miss, but Piari's stick was broken up.
Back to the point, Johnson, another shot. This one gets deflected high. Our scoring summary is brought to you by Worley Parsons Ford. Now hiring trades in Old Country. Visit WorleyParsons.com/careers and apply today.
2 goals to start things off for Columbus. Then it's Magnus Piari that cuts the lead in half at the 15:09 minute mark of the first period. In the second period, it was Jordan Eberle with a beauty of a goal. And Isamov gives them the lead once again. Then Horkoff late ties the game 3-3 in the third period, much like the first. It was Horkoff late ties the game 3-3 in the third period, much like the first. It was an early goal by Columbus. It's given them the 4-3 lead now.
Atkinson and Anisimov each have 3 points. Mike Brown. And a bump there by McKenzie. And a goal on the ice as well. We've got a nice offside call right at the Columbus on the ice as well. We've got a nice offside call right at the Columbus Blue Jackets line, and Ralph Kruger has decided that Nikolai Habibullin's night is done.
Yeah, you know what? Just a statement right there by Ralph Kruger. We're not sure if it's an injury by Habibullin or if it was Ralph Kruger that made that call.
Bullin's night is done.
Yeah, you know what? Just a statement right there by Ralph Kruger. We're not sure if it's an injury by Habibullin or if it was Ralph Kruger that made that call. Ralph Kruger, we're not sure if it's an injury by Habibullin or if it was Ralph Kruger that made that call. Regardless, Devin Dubnyk steps in between the pipes in the game, and we've seen a lot of action around the goaltenders. You know, both of those guys, Habibullin and Bobrovsky, you couldn't get a beating by them on Tuesday night. 7 goals between the two of them already, so it's amazing how this game changes in a hurry.
Well, the St. Louis Blues were world leaders here on Saturday, beating the Oilers 3-0. They have now lost 3 games in a row. You're right. Bobrovsky and Habibullin stopped all 77 shots they faced in those games on Tuesday night. 7:17 left to go in this one. Between these two teams, Calvert and Isamov and Atkinson are back on the ice. Calvert with the puck down. Calvert trying to feed it to the middle for Atkinson, who is broken up by Potter. Magnus Piari comes in, gets by Nikita Nikitin. The puck good, Potter, the shot, he scores! The shot, trying to feed it to the back on the ice. Calvert with the puck down. Calvert trying to feed it to the middle for Atkinson, who is broken up by Potter. Magnus Piari comes in, gets by Nikita Nikitin. The puck good, Potter, the shot, he scores! Comes in for Atkinson, who is broken up by Potter. Magnus Piari comes in for Atkinson, who is broken up by Potter. Magnus Piari comes in, gets by Nikita Nikitin. Atkinson, who is broken up by Potter. as Tiarvi comes in. Gets by Nikita. The button hook. Potter, the shot. He scores. It's for the mid. And it's tied. Watch. Big glove guarded. He picked up on Hemsky instead. Bertram, but was given to Taylor Hall. He picked up an assist instead, so a couple of points in his last couple of games for Corey Potter. Nugent Hopkins gets stopped. Carrying on is Alex Hemsky. Nugent Hopkins, and Everly out there now. Hemsky going after it. Jack Johnson. Hemsky hanging on to it. Beats it back to the point. Speed over to Petrie. Petrie takes a look. Deflected from Rocky. Reaches out. The puck is still alive. And now it's covered up.
Crowd here's next. The 2000 Stanley Cup trip to Oilers.
Right into Sergei Bobrovsky.
Stepping up there with Rogers and Hopkins.
Into Sergei.
Oscar finally eventually recovered that.
Energy line is on the ice right now. Along with Whitney and the goal scorer, Corey Potter. Petrell just dumps it in. Dalton Brown. Petrell with a nice hit on Tim Erickson. Talbot, Anisimov, and Atkinson. A forward line for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And that is gloved ahead. And
Nope. Nope.
Here makes
Gagne. On the near side, Magnus Tiarvi will pick it up. Magnus Tiarvi sends that puck down the ice. Gagne, lost an edge. And the Oilers bounce that puck down the ice. That will allow them to get a change in. Yakupov, Jones, and Torpov. Forward line right now. Puck sits inside of that. Umberger looking for it. And that one slides wide. And Collins pushed it there. Umberger, Collins, and Johansson. Ryan Johansson against Nick Schultz. Lays it back to Fenner Tooten. Tooten and Wisniewski on the blue line. Around the boards for Umberger. He'll give it to Johansson. Ryan Johansson. Sent by Justin Schultz. Blue Jackets get a change in. Getting past the line. Down Fenner Tooten. Gets the puck good. Centered it out in front of the line. By Jones. He's got time. Quick pass to Yakupov. And Yakupov down the right side. Fenner Tooten takes him into the boards. Wisniewski. Takes the shot, will go wide, let it go. Nail Yakupov. Backtracked by Mark Letestu. Vladislav Schmid steps up. Here comes Schmid. Big shot. Bobrovsky to save. A big rebound. Flip down the ice for Brassard. Derek Brassard. To Letestu. Mark Letestu fires a shot, and there, standing tall, Devin Dubnyk. A point, trying to keep it in, can't do it, comes out to center, Jack Johnson. Quick pass to Brassard as the Columbus Blue Jackets make a change. Everly bounces it in. Johnson turns to get away from Nugent Hopkins. Up the middle comes Anisimov to Calvert. And offside is the call. Tell us Oilers hockey from Rexall Place right here. Let's hit game one.
1970 brought in. Enter for your chance to win an Optic TV and Samsung prize package valued at $13,000 or tickets to an upcoming Oilers home game. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit telus.com/hockey.
Now, the Edmonton Oilers have been able to get all their lines out there, but the Columbus Blue Jackets look like they are going to ride this line. And you can't blame them. The way they produced Talbot, Anisimov, and Atkinson. Out there against the fourth line for the Oilers, Petrell, Smith, and Brown. Ryan Smith with a puck now. Smith dumps it in. Brown trying to get to it. Brown gets there first, plays it to the center. Nikita, his defensive partner, starts away. Long pass for Artem Anisimov. Anisimov on the near side. Throws it towards the net. Never Dubnyk. Save on cover and gets away. Columbus saves the game.
Here is the basket of half-eaten zucchini sticks from the win known as Money Monday.
Get your game on with Pools.
Well, Kevin Jeffrey stepped in there and did a real nice job.
In the first and 3 in the second period.
Well, Kevin Jeffrey
And Oilers come on with Pools. By 3
well, Kevin
goals.
Jeffrey stepped in there and done a real nice job.
And Yakupov.
Well, Kevin Jeffrey stepped in there and done a real nice
job. John Collins and Ryan Johansson.
He has.
No item.
He's done well so far.
John Collins and Ryan Johansson, the forward line right now, up against the top line for the Oilers. Taylor Hall, 31 points on the season. He's got an assist tonight. He's got 100 points in his last 3 games. He's got the puck with a head of steam. Hall fires a shot. That one gets deflected to the corner. Hall leads this team in shots on goal, closing in on 100. There's Schultz with a shot right through, but Wowski the save. Everly on the far side. Jordan Everly. Drop pass for Hall. Hall takes a look, still has it. Now a wrist shot that doesn't get through, and Columbus sends it down the ice. Nick Schultz will pick it up there, as that line is going to change up. The top line switches, and the second line hops over the boards. Heskey, Gagne, and Villar. 11 minutes, 39 seconds left to go in regulation time. We're locked up at 4 in the final meeting between these two teams. One of the series. Magnus Villarby trying to flip it in, got a stick up on Brassard, and a penalty coming up. Magnus Villarby was going to head to the penalty box. And we'll have to see if Brassard was given a cut or not.
Well, tell us, Flames hockey's on Sportsnet West tomorrow night. Calgary host, the Columbus Bluejackets. Back-to-back games for them, beginning at 6:30 p.m. Mountain with our pre host, the Columbus Bluejackets. Back-to-back games for them, beginning at 6:30 p.m. Mountain with our pregame show. Then on Monday at 7 p.m. Mountain, back games for them, beginning at 6:30 p.m. Mountain with pregame show. Then on Monday at 7 p.m. Mountain, tell us Oilers hockey features the Battle of Alberta on Sportsnet West as Calgary comes north to take on Edmonton right here at Rexall Place. At West, as Calgary comes north to take on it.
Going to the box right here as he plays this puck. Or tries to play this puck into the offensive zone. As he comes back down, he comes down a little bit too quickly and catches Brassard in the face area. No cut on the play, so only a 2-minute power play. Coming up here to the Columbus Bluejackets.
Second power play of the game for them. Not generated a shot. Advantage Kevin Dubnyk covers up and in the payoff. Back at it, and Speed takes exception. Ryan Smith.
These guys have been the Oilers' worst nightmare in this game here tonight. This line trio of Atkins over it. Start this power play.
They produced 8 points in this game. Only Nikita has got his name on the score sheet. 8 more than those guys. Atkinson back to get it. Wilcox and Petrell up front on the penalty kill. Speed and Petrie off the blue line. Minute and a half to go to the penalty to back up the army. Exit back to down the Pittsburgh. Over the ice for the Oilers. With Gagne, Nick Schultz, and Corey Pyle. Jack Johnson gains the zone. Here's Johnson. Centering pass. Right in front of it. Down the ice from Petrell. The Oilers, 13th best on the penalty kill at home. But overall, a top 10 team in both penalty kill and power play. The 9th best in the penalty kill. R.J. Umberger behind the net. Umberger back to the point. Better Tooten waiting for it there. Better Tooten will give it back. Umberger gets a little help now from Brassard. Jack Johnson being hounded there by Gagne. Lays it back to Ryan Johansson who went off his stick. And the Columbus Bluejackets will have to regroup. Allow the Oilers to get some fresh bodies up there with 34 seconds of power play time remaining. Schultz hammers it around the boards. Brassard looks for it. And jumping on it. There's Schultz. He sends it the rest of the way. Better Tooten will give it to Nikita. Nikita decides to keep it himself. Better Tooten and Ladislav Schmid will kept that puck in. Are going wide. Right side. to go in regulation time. Tell us, Oilers hockey here
in the Stanley Cup playoff first round series on Sports here. Game 1, 7-4 Bluejackets.
To Philadelphia tomorrow night as Toronto takes on the Phillies, 5 p.m. Mountain on Sportsnet Pacific East and Ontario. Meanwhile, the Edmonton Oilers are expanding their social media network. See, she doesn't even need to listen to me. She's doing it right there. Be the first to get exclusive behind-the-scenes photos and videos by following Edmonton Oilers on Instagram and Vine.
I know, Lou, you always are posting those pics on Instagram. What's Vine? We got to ask JoJo. Just over 9 minutes to go in the third period. Taylor Hall behind the net, laid it out in front. Now Calvert is there. Atkinson dumps it in. Justin Schultz and Ryan Whitney, the blue line pair right now for Matt Kruger. Everling gets to center. Everling to Nugent Hopkins. Up in the air. Hall can't touch it. Looks left ahead. Nugent Hopkins does get to it. Gets knocked down by Arlen Anisimov. Still loose. Hall comes up with it. Hall trying to get it to Everling. They come back and split the defenders. Anisimov line will head off as well as the Nugent Hopkins line. Sam Gagner. Francis Diarby as a away from me. We got things started for the Edmonton Oilers in the first period.
Here is Stanley Cup quarterfinal.
Vinny Prosper backhands it out. Corey Hart has to shoot it right back in. Here's the line shot. 25-21. The shots favor the Blue Jackets. It was 8-8 after 2 periods. In that period, 20-16 were the shots for Columbus. Gagner. Backhand for Brodsky. Glove save with Diarby there. He'll hang on to it. 20-16 were the shots for Columbus. Gagner. Backhand for Brodsky. Glove save with
Brodsky. Wow, what a save for the man who surged for playoff victory.
Diarby there. He'll hang on to it.
Nice little drive wide here by Sam Gagner. I like the fact that, again, you saw Hemsky driving to the net. No question coming into this game, the Oilers knew exactly how well Sergei Bobrovsky has been playing as of late and felt they had to get bodies in front of him there. This one here, just a little floater, and I think for Gagner and felt they had to get bodies in front of him there. This one here, just a little floater, and I think for Gagner was hoping that somebody was going to get there, but good drive to the outside, or push, by Johnson to not allow Halish Hemsky to get to the front of the net there.
Petrie pitches in, sends it around the board. Speed waiting for it. Picked up by Erickson. That is Wisniewski. And Wisniewski knocked down by Jones. Umberger with it now. He'll play it off the glass and bounce it down the ice. Ryan Johansson beats to the puck by Petrie, but Johansson recovers, gets it to Umberger. Umberger bouncing puck, can't get a shot. Volkov back defensively. Johansson sweeps it towards the net. That shot stopped by Kevin Dubnik. Quick pass to Speed.
Here in Rexall. Game 1 of the
quarterfinal. Yakupov stopped by Fedor. And offside the call. Following the game, it's connected with a preview.
Let's speak. Jerome again, let's speak. We'll hear from number 12.
But do the Pens even need him? They're going streaking again.
Yes. All right, thanks, guys. And, of course, a complete post-game report from this one.
First round series.
6:55 left to go in regulation time. Brown, Smith, Petrell. Petrell bumps into Jared Bowl. Picked up by Dalton Trout. He will just put that one high down the ice. Potter settles under it, gets it to Ryan Smith. Well, replays and live shots from our net cams are brought to you by LASIK MD, providing you with a 20/20 view of all the action. And we have seen 8 goals in this hockey game. And we have seen 3 goalies
working the nets. Nugent Hopkins will line up against Artem Anisimov.
Blue.
From the face-off, won by Nugent Hopkins. Ball gets it back to Whitney. And play it behind the net. Nugent Hopkins waiting for it. Nugent Hopkins tried to hammer that one out in front. It was blocked up there by Adrian Aucoin. Ball to Whitney. That was blocked by Calvert. Here comes Anisimov. Anisimov going wide on Ryan Whitney. Ball coming back defensively. Plays around the boards. Everly waiting for it there. Jordan Everly. The pass to Taylor Hall. And then he and Cam Atkinson both go down late in sweat on the Columbus bench. All with 31 points. And Gamel's got 30. Johansson pushes it back towards Jeff Johnson. And it's a hard race to the back. He's something there for Johnson. Jack Johnson trying to get away from Gagne. Back to the point it comes. Ladislav Schmid keeps it in. Alex Hemsky goes cross ice, and that went off the stick of R.J. Umberger. Hemsky flips it out. Ladislav Schmid throws it down. He will get that puck in and then retreat. Umberger gets it to Wisniewski. Wisniewski to Fedor-Tuch. To Brassard. Eric Brassard across the blue line. Brassard moves up, pass on Barton. Throws it towards the net. Here's Vinny Crossville. Crossville back to the point. One-timer by Wisniewski, and that was deflected just wide by R.J. Umberger. Crossville leaves it behind the net. Picking it up. Ahead of speed is Horkoff. Yakupov going after it against Fedor-Tuch. Gets it to Wisniewski. Wisniewski takes the hit from Jones. Turns it over to Yakupov. Nail Yakupov. Surrounded by Anisimov. Anisimov with Crossville. Anisimov still a test to let the shot go and went off. Nick Schultz, sharp angle shot by Anisimov. Hammered by Dubnik. Nick Schultz got it again. Schultz to the captain. Rovers want to make a change. And get that change in now. With 4 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in regulation time. Nicky to Anisimov. To McKenzie. Justin Schultz to Jordan Everly. Everly to Whitney. Gets by him, but there's Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall cutting to the middle. Finds Everly. Everly upstairs. Fired that one just a little bit too high. We saw him score a goal just like that in St. Louis on Tuesday.
And his sights have been dialed in as of late. A good pass by Taylor Hall to take it to the middle. Firing Everly late. Just missing that.
Now Justin Schultz driving wide. Schultz. Shot by Jack Johnson. Hall in there in support. Sends it around the boards. Waiting for it is Ryan Whitney. Whitney gets it deep. Nicky. Down to Johansson. Quickly to Calvin. With Atkinson. Johansson moving in. Johansson to Calvin.
Ready to save by Bobrovsky.
Now Alex. Here is Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky. Oh, what an amazing save. This is what this typical quarterfinal was all.
Now Alex Hemsky. Back the other way. Hemsky moving in. Alex Hemsky scores.
He dumps it in. Trying to make it.
Hemsky. It's time. Back the other way. Hemsky moving in. Hemsky scores.
Oh! 3 saves by Bobrovsky. Oh, my Bobrovsky.
Nicky. Now to Johansson. Quickly to Calvin. With Atkinson. Johansson moving in. Johansson to Calvin. Set a save by Devin Dubnyk.
He did it.
Columbus.
Nope.
And he can't find his way through the 8th goal.
Play outstanding results. Brought to you by He celebrates. Alex Hemsky celebrates his 19th point of the season. The Oilers put a 1-goal lead in Game 1. Outstanding play, outstanding results. Brought to you by RE/MAX, Canada's most productive agents.
We're going to go back to the goal we just saw a little while ago. Great play here by Alex Hemsky. After a great save by Devin Dubnyk, goes inside, outside, back to the net in the backhand and tucks her home for a 5-4 lead one of the nicer end-to-end rushes you're going to see a guy make, and a nice celebration afterwards by Hemsky. He knows that was a big one for his team.
He was 1 for 2 on that play tonight. He got stopped earlier, but this one has given his team the lead. The last time, just over 2 minutes to go in regulation time. Come back to the quarterfinal. That was last Calvert against Minnesota Wild. And with a 7-5 deficit, they have tied at 7 and won it 9 seconds. Atkinson behind the net. Atkinson, wrap around the pin, stop, watch it! And he's just missed. Bobski! Another save! Holy macaroni! What a save for Bobrovsky! Sergei!
Over as he goes.
Turns, fires it wide. Center two, drops it back. Sam Atkinson with the puck, throws it towards the net. Devin Dubnyk the save with better two right the doorstep. Marty Klein of Stony Plain has entered the score and win, and she's won the Garmin Newbie GPS courtesy of Safeway and Nabob Coffee, and that was on the goal by
Another great chance by this line.
Stony Plain. Sam Atkinson with the puck, throws it towards the net. Devin Dubnyk the save with better two right the doorstep.
Save! He's trying to make it 5! Oh my, what a save! Bobrovsky! What a save! What a game! Pulsating Stanley Cup playoff hockey!
The Garmin Newbie GPS courtesy of Safeway and Nabob Coffee, and that was on the goal by Alice. Yes, courtesy of
this line.
Bob Coffee.
Another great chance by this line, creating down low. A little bit of a mishap here for Edmonton. His 2 guys get tangled up with Calvert. As he goes to the front of the net, 2 guys take him. Atkins says, okay, that's fine with me. I'll just walk it out and try and tuck it by Devin Dubnyk. And another excellent opportunity in the back door for Anisimov, I believe, driving there. So a couple of good chances created again.
On the board, and the Oilers made the playoffs. April 27th against the Canucks. The Canucks, Oilers have trailed by 1, but after that point, they scored 6. Third period goals way back in the regular season. Jack Johnson will pick it up from Bolton. R.J. Lundberger can't get it by Mitchell. Playoff action around the board here at Jackson. Will take this draw against Artem Anisimov. The Columbus net. Brandon Smith watching him. Smith, Morcom, Gagne. Atkinson drops it back for Wisniewski. Wisniewski over to Johnson. Less than a minute to go. Johnson finds it towards the net, deflected by Calvert. Calvert gets on a knee, ties him up. Now a chance for Gagne. Anisimov at the point. Towards the net, there's a block. An opportunity.
Anisimov centers it well for the Bluejackets, and he scores. 40 seconds left, and Artem Anisimov
Robbed by Stewart.
It's out. There's almost 40 seconds down onto the clock, and he just chips it up over top. The perfect weight and the perfect accuracy.
On behalf of the Safeway and Nabob Coffee.
The perfect weight and the perfect accuracy.
On behalf of the Safeway and Nabob Coffee, Forrest Lakewood of Edmonton has won the Hoover Wind Tunnel Air. On behalf of congratulations to Corey on the third fans into the night. Our air vacuum here in Rexall. Sam Jack 8-4. Bluejackets lead. Jackets come back in the third period to lead it by 4. 12 goals to score here in game 1. Looking for their 5th straight win against Columbus here. Season win a series, and that's it. The Bluejackets are 1-0 here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. For the Oilers, their second, a big part of this victory for Happy Bullet, also a big part of this victory for the Oilers. Happy Bullet, also for the Bluejackets. A big part of this victory for the Oilers. Their second, a big part of this victory. 33 points. Stanley Cup first round.
Telus Oilers hockey on Sportsnet.
Can win in a row. They've now got 33 points. In a row for the Columbus Bluejackets. They got 33 points tonight.
Telus Oilers hockey on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Telus, the future is friendly. By Molson Canadian, brewed with the best this land has to offer. By Ford, go further. And by Rexall, feel good.
There's a thank you to the
Rexall
fans here
at
Rexall Place as the Oilers skate off with their 6th home win of the season on home ice. Well, look at our Molson 3-star. Our 3-star selection is brought to you by Molson Canadian, brewed with the best this land has to offer. Well, Mike Brown with the 5 hits also could have put down an inspiring fight alongside Jared Golden, the 3-star. Number 2-star Alex Hensky feels like he had more than that because he was in on so many of the offensive plays, but he is the number 2-star with a goal. And Jordan Everly heating up. But a couple of goals last time.
The first segment
out against St. Louis adds to his totals this evening and even pitches in with a couple of block shots. The Oilers are not wanting to have a 3-point game against the team directly ahead of them in the standings, and they are able to come back on a couple of different occasions to defeat Columbus for a second time. Stay tuned as on the way, Ivanka and Ken with Connected, and then back to Rexall Place for post-game reaction.
Lineup note for the Vancouver Canucks.